is up, everyone, and welcome back to Across the Board, sponsored by MoneyBall Metrics. You have your normal Wednesday team here today. You have myself, AlphaDog Bets, here with my guy, JD, from Line Movers, and we have our guy back on the air, Jefe Picks. Jefe, we're going to start with you. Welcome back, brother. We missed you. How are you today?
What's up, fellas? Good to be back. Big sports day ahead. Excited to be on here and talk to you fellas for a little bit about it.
Hell yeah, dude. We have a great slate we're going to be getting into today. JD, over to you. How are you, brother?
Doing good, man. This week has been good. I feel like I've gotten up early every single day and gotten something done.
It's a good thing.
So yeah, it's man, everything is going well.
We absolutely love to hear that. And gentlemen, as we always do on the show, we go into our recap from yesterday. So we'll do our Tuesday recap. I'll start first. I ended up going 4-2 on the day. Had a couple big wins. We've profited both days this week, so we're looking to keep it rolling. Jefe, how'd you do yesterday?
Honestly, baseball's been pretty dang good to us this week, at least. On a little bit of a baseball heater. Yesterday was a great day. Somehow hit the Mets, hit the Yankees on the run.
The Mets was wild. That was such a wild game. And, the guy I've been talking shit on more than anyone, Jefe, is Juan Soto, and we would not have won that game without Juan Soto. So big performance from him, especially in the eighth inning.
I fear Juan Soto's about to go on a Juan Soto tear.
He has been for like the last 10 to 12 games as he's starting to finally look like himself. So good for Mets fans, a little annoying for Yankees fans, but if you are betting on the Mets, it has been nice to see him perform and come up in some big spots like he did last night.
Yep, for sure.
Absolutely. J-Bo is happy. Jefe is back. We are happy he is here as well. J-Bo is also saying, what's up, bro? He cashed the plus money banger in the Tigers we talked about. Glad to see you cashed that play. All right, boys. You guys ready to dive into the daily slate? We have this first game we're talking about starts in just over an hour. Oh, I put it up a little too early. We didn't do the MLB. Oh, I am all over the place. We got it now, JD. We got it now.
And also one thing, I normally do not do this, but I have to do it. As far as my day yesterday, I do have to actually bring that up. Mm-hmm. I ended up going 7-1.
That's right.
So on the week now, I am 11-1. Just actually everything's hot, man. So.
Hell yeah, JD, you've been absolutely on fire. I woke up this morning, saw all the notifications in the Discord of everyone tagging you from all these wins. So let's keep it rolling. And if you guys are not already in the Discord, what are you doing? Get in the Discord. It's the best community to be in, best community to win in. So get in the Discord and come cash with the boys. Parlay Prince, what's up, brother? We appreciate you tuning in as always. All right, fellas, I hit the graphic. It's time. We get into the first game of the day, and we have an interesting pitching matchup in this one. We got the Cubbies. We got the Phillies. Ben Brown's on the bump for the Cubs. He's 3-4 in the year with a 5.37 ERA. On the other side is our guy, Jesus Luzardo, who's 5-2 with a 4.46 ERA. Jefe, we're going to start with you. What do you like in the Cubs-Phillies? It's one of the early games today. Starts in just over an hour. And before you do, shout out Benjamin, who's here from the YouTube. We appreciate you tuning in as always, brother.
I'm rolling with the Cubs here, guys. I mean, other than their extra inning win in the first game of the series, other than their extra win game in the first game of the series, Phillies have been struggling. Just flat out struggling. They had a pretty bad weekend in Pittsburgh. And
they've had a pretty bad week and a half.
Yeah, that's pretty hard to do. I give them credit winning that first game of this series in extras, but then, yesterday, dropping the game 8-4. Today, they do have the favorable pitching matchup, but I just kind of not bothered by that, just by the way that they're hitting recently. So I feel comfortable enough to take the Cubs here, even though, this is the rubber matchup of a 3-game series in Philly.
Yeah, it's a little scary, but we have to go over Jesus Luzardo and how he's done in his most recent performances. I actually want to talk about both teams' pitchers' most recent performances. So you take a look at Luzardo. Last outing, they lost 9-1. He only made it to the third inning. In 2 1/3 innings, he allowed 9 hits, 8 runs. He gave up a homer and had 2 walks. He allowed 11 base runners and only recorded 7 outs. He had an awful performance. Game before that against the Brewers, the game ended 17-7. He was only able to go 3 innings and a third. He gave up 12 hits in 3 1/3, 3 walks, 2 homers. Game before that was a 5-4 game against the Athletics, which would go over today's total. Game before that was 7-4 against the Rockies. They did get the win there. So in all 4 of his last starts, they have gone over this total. Let's go over to Ben Brown. So that's the stats on Luzardo. Over to Ben Brown. His last game was a 3-1 game. The game before that was a 2-0 game, but they was pretty low offenses in those games. Prior to that, 11-8 in his start, 8-7 to his start, 5-4 in his start. So 3 out of his last 5 starts have gone comfortably over. On the road this year for Ben Brown, he has a 5.2 ERA, but his record is a 3-1. What does that tell you? Tells you that when the Cubbies have Ben Brown on the bump, he's giving up a ton of runs, but they're hitting for him if they're 3-1 on the road and he has a 5.2 ERA. All that being said, I think that will kind of lead you guys to where I am going on this game. I've already posted it as a free play on my page. I'm all over the over. J-Bo, I agree. And if anyone is following, we all know the SoBet has a big competition, a big tournament that started today. So I did want to go over. This is my first official SoBet tournament play as well. This is probably my favorite play on the entire MLB slate. It's an early game, day baseball, good weather. The ball is going to travel. And I do think these teams are both going to put up good amount of runs on the opposing pitcher. So yet again, my favorite play by far is the over 8.5 in this game. JD, what are you looking at? What do you like?
And for this game, this morning I've been trying to figure out why the Phillies are actually favored here. Like I actually know, like it's a, as far as the line is actually not big or anything, but I'm still trying to figure out why they're favored. Because actually, like as far as actually Jesus goes, you just went into his last couple starts. I mean, they've been bad. Now
Awful.
we knew
Awful.
versus I believe it was the Brewers, which it was the start before. We actually talked about how the manager just left him out there, just like hung him out to actually dry.
Yep.
So I was expecting, like a bounce back start. Well, that did not happen whatsoever.
It was his worst start. He did the opposite of a bounce back.
I was about to say, so he is just currently actually pitching that bad. And then you have Ben Brown going for the other side, who, on the season has not been good. But when you look at his past 2 starts, though, they actually have been very good.
Yes.
And those are against teams that have some pretty good bats too. So I just don't understand why the Cubs are not favored here. To me, this would be a Cubs play all the way.
And it's funny because that you bring that up. So when I take a look here at the ESPN BPI, the Cubs have a 56% implied odds to win the game, while it is a 44% for the Phillies. So the odds makers agree with you here. But what does that tell you if you see something like that, JD? If something's confusing or doesn't make sense, what would you normally play when you see something like that?
Well, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, and that is staying off of it.
Smart.
Because now, like a day like today, I mean, we got a full slate of baseball. I mean, I think we have every team actually playing today. Like, we have the finals game tonight. There's just so much else going on. Like, there's no need to sit here and try to force a play. So
what you're saying is you love the over with me?
Yes.
Yes, I absolutely love that, JD. Love the thinking and the logic behind your thoughts there. All right, boys, let's keep it moving. Second game we're going over today is the Brian Wu Show versus E-Rod. We got the Mariners. We have the D-Bags. Mariners are coming in a completely 500 team. They are 33-33 on the year, and they are 17-16 on the road. This team is about as 500 as you can possibly be. On the other side, we have another team that's exactly in the same boat. The D-backs are 33-34, and they are 17-17 at home. Over to the pitching matchup, Brian Wu. This guy has been a bet-on pitcher for the last 2 years. There's no other way to put it. This guy has delivered time and time again. He's 5-3 on the year with a 3.0 ERA. He has a 0.96 whip. So the issue with him, he's giving up a couple runs, but his whip is staying low, so he's not allowing a ton of base runners. But there are a couple guys getting in. But at the end of the day, a 3.0 ERA is still a very good ERA. It's nothing like what we have on the other side with E-Rod, Eduardo Rodriguez. He is 1-3 on the year with a 6.7 ERA. He also has a 1.65 whip. If you watch this show, you know how bad a 1.65 whip is. Shocking thing about the Mariners this year, and we haven't really talked about it too much on the show, is Cal Raleigh. What Cal Raleigh is doing from the catcher position for this Mariners team has been absolutely unreal, absolutely something we've never seen from a catcher before. As we currently sit on June 11th, Cal Raleigh has 26 homers on the year. He's been fantastic. Jefe, we're going to start with you again. It's Brian Wu Day. It's Eduardo Rodriguez Day. What do you like?
This is an interesting one. Odds here are really kind of throwing me off.
Yeah, the line is a little weird on this one, right?
But then when you kind of look into it, it kind of makes sense. I mean, Mariners, other than a lone victory at the Angels, have lost 1-4 in their last 5. They got their best pitcher on the mound, and I really do like Wu. Whip under 1 still, so that's really impressive. Mm-hmm. In Arizona State in the first 2 of these 2 games versus the Mariners, I mean, like you said, Alpha, these teams are about as dead even can be.
Mm-hmm.
I gravitate towards the Mariners here. I really do. Eduardo Rodriguez's ERA and his whip above 1.65, ERA at 6.7, heavy. I think the Mariners bat should have some success. Wu is a really good, meticulous pitcher, and I think his win-loss is honestly just really a realization of how bad his offense is helping him rather than how bad he's pitching. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the M's here on the money line, a little road
Yep.
dub to get at
Hope-
Arizona with.
It's difficult with Wu right now, right? Because he has lost his last 3 starts, and in all 3 of his starts, he's gone at least 6 innings. So in his last 5 starts, he's gone at least 6 innings. So this guy's going to give you length into the game every single start. He gave up 4 runs in the last game, 3 in the game before, 2 in the game before, 1 in the game before, and 0 in the game before. So each game he's progressively given up an extra run over his last 5. It's just tough. And one thing I have to bring up about Erod and this Diamondbacks franchise, man, this is why they are who they are. Erod's contract is a 4-year, $80 million contract, average base salary of $20 million. This is the second year of that deal. He was supposed to be a big-time arm for them. He was supposed to help out with their lack of pitching. And then what else do? They bring in a guy like Corbin Burns, who now I believe it's Tommy John. I know he's out for the year. I believe it's Tommy John that he needs, though. So, I mean, this D-backs team, you got to feel for them. They can't seem to get this pitching thing right. Whoever they pay money to for a pitcher has just not worked out for them over the last couple of years. Been very interesting to see that. JD, before I give my play, what do you like in this game?
Yeah, I think before you even dig real deep into this one, I think the line kind of tells you everything.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of asking that to Jefe. What do you think the line is saying?
Because, I mean, yeah, as far as Wu, I mean, that's a guy who we would normally back. But I will have to say, that's somebody who I want to back at home.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, that has a lot to do with actually where they play. Him on the road, along with what you were saying, man, he has gotten he's just literally gotten worse every single start. He is currently not pitching well, and now he's here on the road versus a Diamondbacks team that is hitting the ball extremely well.
Yep.
As far as the first 2 games in this series, they've actually scored 8 and then actually 10 runs.
Yep.
And actually, then this ballpark is a ballpark where just runs are like usually high. I see Wu giving up some extra runs here. The actual D-backs offense, I see them staying hot. And then on the other side, as far as the Mariners versus Erod, they should hit him. Just kind of like everybody should. Yesterday I was actually on the over, and actually that one did hit, but that was because the Diamondbacks kind of like I said, I think they scored 10 runs, and actually got there for us. The Mariners only scored 3, but they left so many men on base. They just could not get those clutch hits. So it's not really like they're swinging the bats bad. Like I said, they just haven't got those clutch hits. But anyway, as far as today goes, as far as the matchup, this is definitely a good one for them. So I'm going right back to it, guys. Give me the full game over 9 here.
All right, let's see some runs here. For me, I lean the same as you. I do lean the over. It's a no play for me. This is one of those where I do feel like I have some better edges on some other games today. But if it were to take something, it would definitely be the over in this game. All right, boys, you ready to move on to our third game? And by the way, guys, if you have any questions in the chat, drop them in there about any other games. It's a huge slate. We picked out some of the best, closest line games today that we thought would be the best, most interesting. But if you guys have any questions on any other games, please drop them in the chat. We will answer every single one. All right. Excuse me. I have something in my throat, and this is the most annoying thing in the world. Let's keep it moving. Next game we're breaking down today is going to be the LA Dodgers taking on the San Diego Padres. If you guys have watched this show all week, you know that every game in this series, I have been on the Padres so far. What does that mean? It means I'm 1-1 so far in the series. We cashed last night. We lost the first game, even though they should have really won both games. But in this one, we have an interesting pitching development here. Let me make sure I pull it up because it's not correct on ESPN. We have a pitcher change here for the Dodgers. So
and you know what? So now that you say it, I'm actually looking at field places. It is literally different everywhere.
Yeah, yep. But
Like, so
I
don't
did check the underdog notifications. They did announce it's going to be Kasparius has officially been named the starter. So we are seeing some credible people reporting that Kasparius is going to be the starter. Originally, it was supposed to be Justin Robleski, who was 1-2 on the year with a 7.2 ERA. But as we're alluding to now, it is being reported that he's been yanked, and they're going with a 3-inning opener, Ben Kasparius. He's been a much better pitcher than Robleski. So if you like the Dodgers today, that is good news. He's pitching to a 2.24 ERA on the road. We'll hope to see that continue. On the other side, we have Randy Vasquez. Vasquez is 3-4 on the year with a 3.7 ERA. So I'm going to kick this one off, which is rare. I know I don't usually do that. But I have a parlay piece in this game. As I said, I've been on the Padres the first 2 games of the series. I am not on the Padres today. I am on the Dodgers on the money line in a parlay. You could take it straight. You could definitely take it straight. It's only at a minus 145 to a minus 150. But I'm parlaying them with the Mets. I do think the Mets are going to have another big performance. I think the game that the Nationals had to win and the game they had the opportunity to win was yesterday with Mackenzie Gore on the bump. They blew that game late. The bullpen killed it. And I think tonight the Mets still at home, being 25-8 on the year at home, will have no issue getting by them. And I'm parlaying them, like I said, with the Dodgers here at the minus 150 odds that they have. That comes out to a plus 135 currently, and that's exactly what I'm playing on this game. I do expect a much bigger performance from the Dodgers in this game than we saw in the last couple. I do think the Dodgers are going to hit Randy Vasquez really hard. Randy Vasquez is not a guy I like to back. He's a guy who can, like I said, get hit very hard. He pitches to contact. He's not a strikeout guy. In 63 innings of work, he only has 37 strikeouts on the year. He also has 34 walks, so he does walk a ton of guys. You don't want to basically have an even number of strikeouts to walk. So I'm all over the Dodgers, like I said, and I'm parlaying them with the Mets. You can get that parlay at a plus 135 odds. Jefe, thoughts on that? What do you like in the game?
Totally.
And J-Bo, before Jefe goes, I do see your Tigers-Orioles comment. I do have an official VIP play on that game, so we will go over that after this game before we get into the NBA Finals.
I'm right there with you on the Dodgers. I think this is a good spot for them. I think even though they're basically doing a bullpen game, I'm not really worried about that. Yesterday, their bullpen didn't exactly get a lot of work because I believe Kike Hernandez started pitching in like the 6th inning or something like that. Like wearing a hard hat. That was something you don't see a lot.
You don't usually see. That was a really interesting look. Yeah. I couldn't agree more. It was a bad look and an interesting look.
Super interesting.
Do you know how many innings he pitched?
I don't. I only saw that he came in the 6th when it was 9-0.
He closed the game. He finished the game from the 6th. He pitched 2 1/3, two and a third full innings to end the game here. They obviously didn't have to pitch in the bottom of the 9th because the Padres were up 11-1.
Makes a lot of sense.
But he gave him 2 1/3 inning last night.
Yeah, good for him, man. Way to keep that bullpen rested. And that brings us right into today, where you'll have a rested bullpen, and I think you'll see a Dodgers victory.
I agree. Couldn't agree more. JD?
For this one, kind of like Alpha, like you said, I'm going to stand by this. I keep saying it all the time, but Randy Vasquez fucking sucks.
I didn't expect you to go that hard on it, but I agree. I agree.
Somehow his numbers keep staying in the same area where they don't look that bad. So I honestly hope that they just stay here because he really is that bad. And then actually, like against a team like actually this, he is gonna get hit hard.
Oh yeah, because he pitches to contact. He doesn't get strikes. Exactly. He's not a swing and miss guy.
So like he's just he is going to get hit. I mean, Randy's numbers on the season so far, he has a 3.69 ERA, which I don't know how it's that low. And then a 1.45 WHIP, and both of those numbers, like I've been telling y'all, they are going to go up, and they have been going up, just not at the drastic rate that I thought they would be. So yeah, I am going to stand on actually this he just sucks, and I'm going to fade him in some way every single time. Then along, and just how like you were saying so far in this series, you have actually rode the Padres this whole series. Yep. Well, I've been riding the over the whole series. And today, I am not jumping off. I am going to stay on the full game over. As far as the Dodgers pitching, literally just like yesterday's game, I don't care. I don't care who's on the mound. It is, as far as their options, it is not the best one. There is all I know. Dodgers pitching, they have a lot of guys hurt guys still, and that's why they have to do this. So actually these games where we don't know who's really pitching, we don't know how long they're going to go, great, cool. Like I'm still going to just bet those.
I like that angle.
Because like I said, whoever starts it, I really just don't care. So yeah, give me the over 9.5 runs here.
I respect it. I respect it. And yeah, when you're capping a total like that, it really doesn't matter who's starting when it's an opener, right? It just matters that you know it's going to be a bullpen game and you can expect X amount of runs when they do a bullpen game. So there's a lot of strategy that goes into it. I know JD puts that work in to look up all the different pitchers and see all that, but I agree with you. It doesn't really matter when you know who's on the other side, and it's Randy Vasquez. There's nobody who I think the Dodgers could put out there that they'll be at a huge disadvantage of with Randy Vasquez on the bump for the Padres. So Dodgers Mets parlay for me, over for JD, and Jefe agrees with the Dodgers as well. All right, boys, this one doesn't look as clean. I got a little graphic up there quickly. I didn't get the odds up, so I do apologize. But J-Bo, you want Tigers Orioles? We fucking got you. Tigers Orioles, guys. Pitching for the Tigers is Casey Mize. He's coming in 6-1 on the year with a sub-3 ERA. He's got a 2.91 ERA. His whip's at a 1.22. On the other side, we have Zach Eflin, the opening day starter for the Orioles, which, man, if that's your ace/opening day starter, that's an issue. He's 5-2 on the year, but he does have a 4.5 ERA. He only has a 1.12 whip, so he's done a good job of keeping guys off base, but the issue is that they're hitting a lot of homers off him, and they're getting the ball out of the park. That's why his ERA is all the way up at a 4.5. Eflin as well is 1-2 on the year at home with a 5.5 ERA. So he's one of those reverse splits guys. He's been significantly better on the road this season than he has been at home. JD, I'll let you break this one down first. Any plays from you?
Yeah, as far as this line, this is another very interesting line here. The Orioles, what are they? Minus 130 now?
Again, it's the same fucking thing as yesterday. We're looking at an exact same thing, just different name pitchers. But the pitchers basically have the same stats. It's the same game as yesterday.
I mean, when you look at Casey Mize and you actually look at his season stats, they are very good. Mm-hmm. But I can go and tell you why this number is like it is. It's because the books are seeing exactly what I'm seeing. Casey Mize is not right. There's still something wrong with actually him. I'm not sure what exactly is going on, but something's not right. So I'm not sure what you're going to get from him today. I'm not sure how long he's even going to go. I could definitely see him getting hit. But the Orioles, I'm still not going to lay this price with.
You have to be able to. You have to be able to hit him, and the Orioles haven't shown us they're capable of hitting this year.
So yeah, got to be able to hit.
So saying all that, as far as the Tigers,
I like that a lot. By the way,
I would still have to be on their side, but I'm pretty sure that's why the line is like where it is, though.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. He has not had a great last couple starts, but he did win. Let me pull it back up. I accidentally clicked off here because I wanted to look at exactly what you're talking about so I can go over it. The last game, it was a 3-2 loss against the White Sox and went to extra innings. He only gave up 2 runs. Game before that against the Royals, he only gave up 3 runs. Game before that, only 1 run. Game before that, only 1 run. He hasn't exactly given them a ton of length, but he hasn't done terribly. He's been okay. Something's definitely off with him. He isn't pitching like his normal self, but he hasn't been destructive to his own team. I guess that's the best way I can look at it. They're still getting the job done. They're still winning with him out there. And I'm going to be backing the Tigers in the spot at plus money. I do think there's still value on them here, especially against a guy like Zach Eflin, who, let's be honest, he can be hit very, very hard. He's not a pitcher I normally like to back. He's another fade guy for me. Doesn't matter where he's been in his career last couple of years. To me, he's been a fade. You can make some good money going against Eflin. And I'm doing that again with this Tigers team that has one of the best offenses in baseball. Who would have thought that going into the season, that one of their strengths would be this offense? But they've been unbelievable. They've been fantastic. They've taken a ton of walks. They haven't struck out that many times. They have a decent amount of strikeouts, but their offensive metrics are fantastic. They slug very high as a team. Spencer Torkelson has been unbelievable. He's really come into his own. Riley Green has really come into his own as well. And then when you take a look at the Orioles, there's really nothing that impresses you with them. They're 12-18 at home. They can't win on the road. They can't win at home. They're 26-39 on the year. If you can get plus money right now on the Tigers to beat them, that's exactly what I'm going to be playing. So I am going to be taking the Tigers on the money line. It is a VIP play for me. Jefe, anything from you? Then Parlay Prince wants a quick thing about the Yankees. We'll talk about that game and go right into the NBA.
Yes, actually, one of my best bets is Tigers on the money line. You kind of mentioned why at the very end of your speech there. Orioles are a worse home team than they are an away team, and that goes quadruple for their starting pitcher today, Zach Eflin, who somehow is spectacular, 4-0 on the road, but 1-2 at home with a 5.4 ERA. So Camden Yards has not been too good to the Orioles, and especially not good to Eflin. I understand Mize might be compromised. See what I did there?
I
But
hate you. I hate you.
but the Tigers can still hit, man, and I think they're going to hit Eflin, and they are a much better team. I give them so much credit for uh, building on that success that they had in the postseason last year and bringing it right into this regular season and keep it going. They're obviously coached very well, and it's a great team to be a fan of right now. And today I'm rolling with the Tigers on the money line.
Yeah, it's got to be fun to be a Detroit fan for the first time in history. I mean, the Lions are good. The Tigers are good. The Pistons are getting good. So good for Detroit. We like to see them doing well because that's a city that, God, they needed it.
Dude, that
God,
city's
they
going
needed it.
nuts, man. Because actually, like, as far as my wife, is from like around there, and actually, like, all of her family's there, and everybody is now just like talking to me and like just a huge sports fan. So
I love that. I love
Yeah,
that.
I gotta think though the Lions still obviously run that city. Like,
Oh, yeah.
because there was a time obviously mid 2000s where the Pistons were amazing. They won a championship. We're going back to back. They were in the East Conference Finals like 5 years in a row. And obviously the Miguel Cabrera days, Justin Verlander days, Max Scherzer days of the Tigers, they definitely went to World Series. I think they might have gotten slapped by the Giants.
No Magli Ordonez, bro.
Mags, love Mags.
What a name. What a throwback right there.
I'm
The
pretty
Tigers had some
sure
dogs and
I'm
dudes.
pretty sure they got killed by the Giants, actually. I can't remember.
They sure did. They sure did. And a little breaking news from Shams. I'm sure you saw that alert,
I
Jefe,
saw
because
it.
so I do want to quickly touch on that before we get into the Yankee game. The Phoenix Suns and Kevin Durant's business partner, Rich Kleiman, are sorting through trade options. It looks like he will be dealt. It looks like it's not a question of is KD going to be dealt from the Suns? It's to who is KD going to be dealt from the Suns? It says right now there are 5 main teams, and those are the only 5 that they're discussing with. The Houston Rockets, the San Antonio Spurs, the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Miami Heat, which I'm going to take them out of it. Let's be real here. He's not going to the Miami Heat. And the New York Knicks. So to me, it's really the big 4. The Texas teams, Houston and San Antonio. Then you have Minnesota and the Knicks. All teams that were on the verge of making the NBA Finals. So it looks like KD's trying to chase one more ring. It does look like there is definitely going to be a deal. We just have to kind of wait and see who that deal and who that team is going to be that gets the services of Kevin Durant. So more to come on that. All right, quickly, let's touch up on this Yankees-Royals game, guys. For who was the one who I think was Parlay Prince? Yes, for Parlay Prince. We got you, bro. Yanks, Royals, I have an official play in this one as well. JD, I'm only bringing this up as well because I like how you pronounce the Yankees starter today, so I'm going to make you do that. But we have Clark Schmidt on the bump for the Yanks. He's 2-3 on the year with a 4.04 ERA. On the other side, we have Chris Bubich. Bubich is 5-3 on the year with a 1.43 ERA. Bubich has been great at home. He's got a 1.3 ERA at home, but he's only 2-2. So last game out, he pitched a gem against the Tigers. They lost 1-0. Game before that, they faced the Twins. They won 2-1 in extras. Game before that, 3-1. Game before that, 2-1. So he has a lot of very low-scoring games where his team ain't hitting and he ain't giving up runs. Jefe, I'm going to start with you. It's the Yanks. What do you got?
Well, yesterday we saw the Yanks absolutely beat up on the Royals. We saw Fried pitch a Max Fried-like game, which is now becoming what's to be expected from him. Today, I do give the Royals the slight edge in starting pitching, but when it comes to bats, I mean, Aaron Judge seems to be getting real hot real fast.
Yep.
And not that he hasn't been hot throughout the year, because I mean his average is insanity right now. But that's
you mean his 396 batting average?
You could make a case he's having his best year ever, and en route to back-to-back MVPs.
Hey, you know what's crazy? He doesn't even lead the AL in homers. That's why I brought up the Cal Raleigh stat. Cal Raleigh has got 2 more than him right now.
Yeah, which could change at any moment, but we all know that. I just I expected more to Kansas. I expected what the Tigers are this year to be the Royals.
Such a good point. They made some good offseason acquisitions too.
They had a good offseason. They have a cornerstone superstar young player who's actually playing to the back of his baseball card, or was. They got I can't say his name, but you know the young player that they just called up, Jack with a C. I can't say his last name.
Give it a shot.
Yeah, I literally
come on.
Caglione. There's no R. Good, made that up. But he's going to be a superstar, and I just expected more out of them. They have good starting pitchers, but I don't know what's not clicking. In today's game, though,
It's
I'm
the
rolling with you.
offense. It's the
Yeah,
offense.
it really is. I mean, when your leading home run guy has 10 home runs and your leading RBI guy only has 38 RBIs, you're struggling. They're struggling to get runs in. And I
Here's what
think
it
that
is, Hef. Here's what it is. Let me read you the outfield of the Kansas City Royals this year. Mark Hanna at 36 years old, Kyle Isabel, Nick Lofton, not Kenny Lofton, Nick Lofton, John Rave, who doesn't even have a picture on ESPN, and Drew Waters, who I actually personally know, not a great baseball player, to be completely honest with you. Their outfield is atrocious. That's the issue with this team.
Yeah. It's a weird situation. Maybe they're going to be active at the deadline because they are a 500 team, but who knows? With that being said, today I'm rolling with the Yanks. I mean, I know that Clark Schmidt has been up and down this year, but I think against a lineup that he could, get through pretty easily. I think the Yanks could get to Bubich and have some success today, especially if you can get him on the money line and don't got to worry about no run line stuff. Take the Yanks.
Yeah, and the Yanks have won, I believe it's 9 straight games against the Royals. They are 6-0, or what are they? 4-0 against them this year, and I believe they won the last 5 they played them last year. So they've been absolutely dominating this team. I'm also going to be back in the Yankees today. They put up 10 runs yesterday, and if we know anything about this Yankees team, if they hit early in a series, they usually continue that hitting throughout the series. So I do expect the Yankees bats to stay hot. I do apologize to everyone who watched the show yesterday. I told you I would not take the Yankees in any type of capacity. Well, I was fucking wrong. In any type of capacity, you bet the Yankees yesterday, you would have won. So it was a big performance from them. I did expect the bats to maybe not come out as hot as they did, but they did. Judge hit a ball that was one of the furthest homers I have ever seen, especially in Royals Park or whatever the name of the stadium is, Kauffman Field. I haven't seen many go that far in Kauffman Field. I believe it went 480. It was an absolute bomb. So he's dialed in. The rest of the Yanks seem dialed in, and this series feels personal. I know everyone out there saw the Jazz Chisholm, Michael Garcia little exchange at third base where Jazz Chisholm was screaming to the Yankees third base coach, if he tags me like that again, I'm going to knock him the F out. Yeah, this is personal. These teams don't like each other, and the Yankees enjoy playing the Royals because they continue to beat them. Give me the Yanks in the money line. Definitely think it's the right play here. JD, your guy Clark's on the bump. I love how you say his name. What do you got in this one?
Yeah, man. Going back to last night's game, I'm actually pissed about that game. It was because I came on here and said the Yankees were going to smack that dude up. My mind's going blank. I can't think of what his name was. But his stats, were just so good. And I was talking about how
Nick Cameron, by the way, Nick Cameron.
There we go, Cameron. As far as lineups that he'd faced, he hadn't really faced a lineup like them yet.
Yeah, you're right. You called that perfectly, by the way. You said everything that was going to happen. You nailed it on the show.
And then, and of course, I didn't bet it. I didn't give it out as play. But anyway, as far as this game here, just to be quick, I have, just as a model price, I have the Royals favored here. Not by much, but but as a small favorite. But just like y'all were saying, the Yankees bats, they have such an edge there. And they are hot. That for me makes this price not a good enough price to actually play this. So for me, it's a very easy pass.
I definitely hear that. Well, let's see a big win from the Yanks. David is here. What's up, David? We actually did not cover the Pirates game. Any of you guys have a play on that game? I'm not touching anything in this Pirates Marlins absolute stink fest.
Nothing.
We got Jefe's boy Cal on the bump. Anything from you, Jefe?
Nah, because the Pirates have been too hot lately, and it's weird.
It's weird. It's so weird how good they've been lately. They weren't yesterday, but they were
and
winners.
even though Cal's on the bump for the Finns, the line should be worse, but I don't really know how to look at it because I guess it shouldn't be because I shouldn't be blinded by the recent success of the Pirates, but I am.
Damn is right. I'm with you. Well, let's move right along. David, you have any other questions? We're here to answer them, but we're now going to be jumping in to the NBA. We have made it, everybody, to the NBA Finals Game 3. We got the Thunder. We got the Pacers. Series tied 1-1. Short line here. It's down to an even 5 on most sports books. Jefe, there's only one person who can kick off an NBA segment on this show, and that is you. What do you got?
I think Game 2 of the series is much more indicative of what we're going to see for the rest of the series than Game 1. I'll put it to you like that. I see a Thunder team that just is coached so well and so disciplined and knows what its own weaknesses and strengths are. I see a Pacers team that gets very comfortable with falling down by double digits and always believes in themselves when their back's against the wall and the clock really starts to become their enemy. That's when they turn the gas on, so to speak. But I don't think against a Thunder team you can do that many times. You got away with it in game one, and I think that's incredible. Kudos to the Pacers for getting that. In game two, I think you saw the Thunder be the Thunder, and I think you saw the Pacers be the Pacers. Whenever there's obviously a change in venue, like there is tonight with this series moving over to Indy, you expect little juice, and that place is going to be bumping. It's going to be jumping. It's going to be bumping. That place is going to be packed. And Indiana is a crowd that knows it's basketball. They're great. They're loud. It's going to be a ruckus environment for the Thunder, but so they've been in ruckus environments before. There's obviously this stat. I'm sure you two have seen it. I'm sure viewers have seen it. It's going all over social media. The Thunder are 0-7 against the spread on the road in the playoffs this year. Literally have not won one single game against the spread on the road in the playoffs. That's kind of hard to do. This line, I think, is
cannot confirm or deny that, but very interesting stat. Very interesting stat.
David is 100% right in this. But these stats don't mean squat to me because since 2000, I mean, okay, that's different teams, different eras. I actually put more equity into the stat that I just said, that this Thunder team has been 0-7 against the spread.
So do I.
And that one, but that's still a good stat. I understand that it is different in the finals. It is. But I think this is priced perfectly, -5.5. Because if you are reading that 0-7 against the spread stat and you're telling yourself, yeah, Pacers at home, they'll have a little more juice. They can lose this game by 4, they can lose this game by 5 easily. I don't believe that. I think the Thunder win this game by 8 or more points. I'm going with OKC -5.5. You want me to go over my favorite prop now or later?
No, we'll do another round. We'll first go over our game lines and we'll go back to you. JD, I have a feeling we're going to be on a very similar play here. I'll let you go first. What do you got? I could be wrong.
I've never seen you do a play like mine. So
Then no.
First quarter reverse ladder.
That's right. I got Benedict Mather and over 92 points in this game.
It's Aaron Neesmith to miss his first free throw.
Yes. What do you got, JD? Break it down.
Yeah, just like Jefe said, I really think game like 2, that's how this series is more. It's actually going to go more like that. When you look at this series, though, as far as in the first half, they have not scored as many points. The first half has been a much lower scoring half, and the second half has been a really high scoring half. And if you look at why, the Thunder have come out in both the first 2 games and have both come out great. The Thunder are a great first half team. That's just what they've done like all actually years. I mean, we all know that. The problem is the Pacers have been slow in the first half in both games. So we have that point.
Do you think that's going to continue? Do you think, because my point, what I'm playing is based off that. That's a big factor of what I'm playing in this game.
It is mine too. But I have another point to make.
Okay.
As far as game 2, you saw the Pacers, they switched things up. As far as on the defensive end, they actually played some. And it hurt them. They actually got their ass beat worse.
Yep.
So tonight, I think the Pacers go back to what they do. They become the Pacers. What actually got them here is they're going to be at home. They're going to push that pace. They're going to start out hot. I think they're going to put up points. But the next thing is I think the Thunder are going to still be the good first half team that they are. They're still going to put up their points too. Because of how low scoring the first half has been in these first 2 games, we're getting a first half total here of 112, which I think is way too low. So I'm playing that first half over here.
We're kind of on the same page, like kind of. Because I'm playing the full game over, absolutely, over 228. My big point about this is that now that the Pacers are home, they're going to play better in the first half. They're not going to come out as shell-shocked. The crowd isn't going to be as detrimental to their offensive performance because you saw these guys get nervous in games 1 and 2. The entire first half for the Pacers was nervous basketball. We saw them missing free throws, missing open shots, turnovers that we haven't seen them make at home. So I do think that the role players and the key players for this Pacers team will perform better in all levels of the game at home. I don't think Siakam's going to miss 15 free throws at home. I don't think Tyrese Halliburton's only going to average 15 points a game at home. I think Nesmith's three-point shooting will go up at home, his percentages. I think Miles Turner's three-pointers will fall at home when they weren't falling on the road. So I do think the Pacers are going to be the big difference in this game. And I do think we are going to see a ton of points in this one. So give me the over. Over 228 is exactly what I'm playing here. And we did cash the over in game 2 that hit 230 points. And that game had an extremely low scoring first half. So I don't expect the first half to be as low as it was. And another factor about my play, JD, is going to be free throws late. This game has a much closer line. I do expect this game to be a little more competitive than it was in game 2. I don't think we're going to see the entire benches being deployed with 3 to 4 minutes left in the game like we saw it in game 2. So I think they're going to have to play a complete game. There will be free throws at the end that help us get over this total, and we're definitely going to be on the over 228. Jefe, back over to you. What props do you like in this game?
I got one that I really like, guys. It's hit in the first 2 games, and it's at plus money for this game 3. I don't know why it's at plus money. It's not scaring me, but it's interesting. It's Isaiah Hartenstein's over on rebounds. It's at 7.5 at plus 110 odds.
Didn't he have 12 offensive rebounds last game alone?
No. He had in games 1 and 2. One game he had 8. One game he had 9. Total rebounds. I don't know which game is which, but either way, he's went over 7.5 in both those games. Today it's at 7.5 at plus 110 odds. I'm rolling with it again. The Thunder obviously have a rebounding advantage. And I think Hartenstein playing when he does against their own 5, sometimes it's not Miles Turner, sometimes it's Thomas Bryant, et cetera, et cetera. I think Hartenstein has a very big edge, and he's humongous also on the offensive side on the rebounds.
Absolutely.
So it's one of my favorite prop of the day in this game. If I had to pick a second one, if the Thunder are going to win, somebody else other than Shea has to be able to contribute offensively. I would look at Williams or Chet. Took Williams in game 2. He fell short. He was at 21.5, and I think he got 19 or something. Chet actually had a pretty good game. But look for the ancillary players. I mean, that's why Thunder so difficult to guard. Isaiah Joe, Wiggins,
Luigi Dort.
Caruso,
I got my props on
Dort.
Luigi Dort.
I mean, everybody can make a 3 when they need to and in transition. They're a great team. They're such a well-built team, guys. And don't even let me get into the rabbit hole of the fact that their top 10 pick from last year hasn't even been on the court for them this year. And I forgot his name, but he was on the Serbian national team, one of the best young
Isn't it
players.
like Nikola Topic or some shit?
Yeah, it's one of those. It sounds like Jokic.
I think it's Topic.
Yeah. And I think they have a lottery pick this year.
It is
too.
Topic.
They are so loaded. It's frightening.
Yeah. And when they have the double Nicholas in there, they got the Jokic, they got the Topic. This is going to be a crazy.
And don't forget about Jovic, Nikola Jovic on the Heat.
There's so many teams that would be the Nuggets. We'd have the Thunder and the Heat, all having guys with basically the same last name. It's the new Bogdanoviches. We got more Bogdanoviches coming in. I'm going to go over my player props here. I have a player prop parlay. Aaron Nesmith to hit 3 or more threes, parlayed with Luigi Dort to hit 2 or more threes. We all know Luigi Dort's been hitting threes at a crazy rate in this series, and Aaron Nesmith needs to be the guys for this Pacer team. You can get that prop at a plus 250 right now. That's exactly what I am playing for my prop of the day. Yet again, Luigi Dort to only make 2 threes or more, and Aaron Nesmith to make 3 threes or more. JD, props before we get into best bets?
Yeah, before I give out a prop really quick, I'm going to talk about the side because I just realized that I never talked about the side like one single bit here.
Yeah.
So as far as just the line, the Thunder at 5, I mean, actually, yeah, like it's down to 5 in some spots now. This line to me makes no sense because if you're looking at just home court going from, like OKC to here, this line move doesn't make any sense. So are the line makers just respecting the Pacers that like much now? Or are they just trying to get you to bet on, the actual like OKC side?
It's scary. The line is a little odd because I thought it would have been an 8-point spread. Exactly what Jefe thought the game would play out to. I thought that would be the line in this game.
Yeah, there's what it should be between that 7 and 8 point range. Like that's what the line technically should be. So
I agree.
If you're like me and just go based off of that type of value, then yes, as far as like OKC would definitely be a good bet here. I just personally like that first half over a whole lot more. So that's why I'm going that way. So anyway,
respect it.
This prop, I cannot take credit for, but it's one that I love. And I have to shout out Joe because Joe's the one who actually gave me this prop. I don't think Joe has been in the chat.
I haven't seen him today, but shout out
yeah.
Joe. We miss you, brother.
Definitely shout out Joe. But this is a prop that he like sent me a whole bunch of stuff about it. So I just had like to definitely ride it. And that is Nimhard, and actually that is his rebound prop. You can get that at over 3.5. It looks like you can still get that at like plus 100 too.
Plus 110 on FanDuel to get 4 or more rebounds.
Yeah, okay.
So it's the same thing.
Plus 110. In every game that these two teams have actually played this season, he has gone over this every single game. So and actually, like as far as minutes goes, he's getting at least 30 minutes per game. So to be on the court actually like as much as he is, and rebounds, just to get a random bounce to go like your way, and I mean like and you got one.
Yep.
Shit like that. So just for being on the court as much as he is, and then having a line that he's hit literally every single game, and then actually getting this price, I actually think that's a great play. I
do as well. I may end up telling that because that does sound like a very, very sharp play. All right, boys. It's about that time we get into our best bets for today, Wednesday, June 11th. Jefe, we're going to start with you. You got 1, you got 2, you got 93. How many you got for the people today?
2. Tigers on the money line, Thunder minus 5.5. Guys, I think the Thunder, more than likely, Thunder win by double digits than the Pacers win this one. That's my personal opinion.
Love it. Cubbies, Phillies over 8.5, as well as I'm going to give out the over in the NBA game. Those are going to be my 2, over 228. JD, what do you got? This is going to be the last best bets of this style, I believe, tomorrow.
Yep.
Best bets now. Oh, a little early there, Pat. Let's take it easy. 5 minutes, I'll put you on. Starting tomorrow, best bets is going to look a little different. Might be powered to you by somebody else. So we have some big stuff coming with that. JD, on our last ever regular best bets, what do you got?
For the last regular best bet, I need you to go and talk to your mom. I need you to go and talk to your grandma. I need you to get as much money from them as you possibly can. And I need you to play this OKC Indiana first half over.
Wow. No. Now, will you be talking to my grandmother tomorrow? Because I'm going to say she's going to be angry and confused.
There is definitely a joke, but I will say that actually this is my max play. So I am personally big on actually this one. So yeah, let's go and get that first half over 112.
I love it. All right, boys. Well, we don't have a graphic today. Starting tomorrow, there'll be a new graphic. I keep giving you guys enough hints. I think you can figure out what I'm talking about by now. But fellas, it's been a great show. Jefe, always love having you on, brother. You always do a fantastic job. Jefe, any parting words to the people before we get the fuck out of here?
Man, let's get a big let's have a big night. Let's bring it into tomorrow and keep the winnings growing.
Let's keep it rolling, baby. JD, get us the fuck out of here.
Yeah, guys, we have a great day of sports ahead. We have baseball literally all afternoon and into the evening leading up to the NBA Finals tonight.
The Jefe. Oh, David, let me tell you something. This is one of Jefe's favorite restaurants. We have been there a lot.
That's where I went to wash down my tears after the Knicks loss. Sort of.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought you were just there this week. Yeah, David, that's a spot. Great call there. JD, that's a chili dog spot in New Jersey. Like we have a bunch of those where they have fried hot dogs that they put the chili sauce with the onionis, with the mustard. They get it all the way. Phenomenal.
Oh, that sounds good.
It is good.
Yeah, guys, we got sports all day long. So we're going to have a great day. And, let's ride all that into that first half over and let's fucking win.
Let's fucking win. Now I want a fucking chili dog. We appreciate every single one of you for tuning in today. We will be back tomorrow. Same time, same place. Let's win some fucking bets. Cubbies on in 10 minutes. Peace.